my platform grew because of my situation with my kids, and they've always been part of my page. You know, I'm just trying to switch up the game a little bit on my page. I'm trying to like not to discipline on camera no more. I'll put it on mute. Like, hey man, guys, come on, man, don't f this shit up, because this is like our bread maker. Like, this is we're trying to level up in things, you know. So we're trying to like change shit around. But no, my daughter actually wants to do. She's been doing TikTok. She has a 15K page, but she deleted all her fucking content.
Why'd she do that?
Because she's like, oh, people have been saying stuff on the page about you, and I don't want that. And then they talk about me. But I was like, nah, f that shit, because by the time you hit, 14 next year? No, 13 next year, you're able to go live. She does makeup.
So you can have a TikTok if you're under 13, but then at 13 is when you can go live?
Yeah, you could go live at 13. Yeah, I think you have to be 13. Okay. Because I see other content creators at 13 doing lives and stuff like that. But she likes to do makeup. And I'm like, don't give up on that shit. Do it again, mama. Do it again. I'm here to support you. Oh, but they're going to talk about me. She's a little bit more insecure. Me, I don't give a f. But, you know, I think that's our platform. Me and my family, people want to see how we fucking were from the beginning, living in the car, to shelters, through all the destructive shit, and where I'm at now, you know? And one of my caseworkers told me, you know, because I wasn't happy, I was like, I don't want to be here. And she's like, let me tell you something in life. You might not be where you want to be at, but that doesn't mean you can't get where the fuck you want to get at. So keep on fucking pushing and thriving. Right. So I keep that shit in my head, like, all right, this is not where it stops. Keep on going, bitch. Keep on going. And that's what we do every day.
No, definitely. I mean, like, that's part of being a content creator, is like being able to read a bunch of comments telling you you're a piece of shit and telling you that everything is wrong with you, and being able to like not have that affect you for the rest of the day. Yeah. But man, when it comes to little kids, like, it just feels like their brain is so not set up to take that kind of stuff in, and like, damn, that's just like a scary thing. Like, I feel like human beings in general are just not meant to read hundreds of random people's opinions about them. And I'm totally used to it. But that is just like, when I think, okay, like I know this, like, or I don't know, but I was watching an interview with this like skateboard filmer the other day. He used to be a pro, and he just like, he's cut off. He doesn't have Instagram. He doesn't know what anybody thinks about him. He's living his life day to day, doing stuff. And he just doesn't have that thing of just like reading what hundreds of people think about him every day. And I was watching him talk about it, and I'm just feeling jealous, just being like, bro, that must be fucking amazing. Cause that's what it was like in the 90s. That's what it was like before all this internet shit. And like, on one hand, I have that to thank. I have the internet to thank for like basically everything I've ever accomplished for myself my entire life. But then at the same time, like, God, it would be nice to just have no idea what people were saying about you.
And that's my son's mentality, the oldest. Yeah. And he'll come up to me, or when I end my live, why the f do you read them stupid ass comments? You don't know how to just put comments off and just do your thing?
But especially when you're live. It's like, that's like the fuel that you're going on. Is like, if you didn't have the chat, it doesn't really feel like you're live.
Exactly. Know? And you know, and I have a lot of girls that are going through shit that be like, Lynnwood, you help me with my depression. You're funny. I do cooking videos. Thank you for teaching me how to cook. I just got married. A little bit of everything, you know? So, you know, without the chat, I feel like I ain't really shit. Like, I don't have nothing to conversate about with them.
So financially, because I know TikTok's pretty hard to make money on. Oh, yeah. But then live streaming is pretty good on there too, right? Like, do you do the battles and stuff? People...
I do.
Okay.
They're draining, man.
It is.
Everybody drop, tap.
Somebody, the other day, or a couple months ago, I was talking to somebody about doing an interview, and they were basically like, you don't got to pay me, but I need you to go on TikTok and battle me. I'm done. And I was like, wow. And then never thought of that as being like a fair exchange. But I'm like, shit, if this guy goes on there and he makes, $1,000, or I have no idea how much he could make, but I'm like, I guess that does make sense. That's a lot better than me actually giving you money.
Yeah. You know, people like it. People like, when I battle, I troll. Okay. I'm trolling with the other guy. The one guy's calling me like, shut up, you fucking fat bitch. That's why you look like this. And I'm like, oh yeah, like a little roasting game. And they like that. It's like comedy. So
if you do a battle, how long does it take on average?
4 minutes.
4? That's it?
4 minutes.
Oh, I thought
each battle is 4 minutes.
Okay. And even if I lose, I still get the money that people donated to me. Got it. It's just a contest of who gets more, basically. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I always see people like trashing people for doing it too. Like there's a guy I know, Jason Nash, who's like a comedian, and he does it. And I've seen like whole YouTube videos basically just dragging him, talking about him like he's the biggest loser for doing it. And I'm like, well, yeah, shit, man. Like, got to make some bread.
Hey, you guys too, man.
What's the most you ever think you made from one battle?
On one battle, like a long time ago when I barely started, I was really, really popping. I was fresh. I made like probably like 3,000 in 4 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But back then, that's when I had my main page. Everybody was down with me.
Wow.
And they've been taking my pages down. So it's hard to start all over.
But how big did you get your biggest page to before?
Well, it wasn't not that big, but it was big for me. 140 something K.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a good amount of people.
How many times you been deleted?
Like 18, 20 times. Like
really?
they've taken down my pages. Yeah.
And what do you keep getting deleted for? Is you think it's just people just coming together to mass report you?
Yeah. Okay. It's like little people that don't like me, groups of people. Cause
it's not like you're actually breaking terms of service or anything?
Probably. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, you fucking fat bitch. I don't give a fuck, bitch. Fuck you and your mama. And then, you know, sometimes it just happens and boom, you're banned.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't make my bread.
Yeah, TikTok is such a scary place because, like, I remember doing those. Like, I would go live. I haven't done it in years, but I would go live and just mess around with it, and it's fun because it's like you really have no idea how many viewers you're gonna get. Yeah. It's just so like if I go on Instagram Live, which I've been banned for like a year, like if I go on there, I just kind of know the number that I'm gonna get. Whereas with TikTok, it's like I'll have like 500, and then it'll be 3,000, and then it'll kind of drop down to 1,000, and then if I stay on, then all of a sudden it'll be 3,000 again. It's just so weird, like how it'll just decide when to recommend you. But
because you have a name, you have a platform, you're up there, you know. So as soon as you go on, they're like, Adam, we want to see what he got going on. So you'll have a good amount of people. Yeah. So if you're kind of known, your numbers are up. Like if I have 500, I'm like, fuck, I'm doing bad.
Yeah.
Like if I go back to my 2,000, 2,800, like I'll be like, okay, I'm still there.
Yeah, that is such a shitty feeling when you're live streaming and you're like thinking about how many people are watching you. But that's the difference between YouTube. If I go live on YouTube, I know that like 100% of the people watching are like people who are already familiar with me. They already watch some of this content. They're just like, they're in the know. They know who I am. Yeah. If I go on TikTok, it's like I'm just being introduced to shitloads of new people over and over, but then I am kind of recognizable. So it does feel like a really, really good thing for growth. Like it is. I probably should put more time into it.
You should. And okay, so not only does it work by battling, it works by if you have 10K followers, you can start getting monetized for your videos. 1 minute videos. If you go over, I think 80K views, you start getting paid.
Okay. So how good is that for you? Is that like your main thing at this point? Is just TikTok in general?
Yeah, I just go live and I'll battle and stuff like that. But my videos.
But then your actual videos make money as well?
Well, my page is only 80K right now. So it's like people are barely like engaging. So my numbers are going up little by little, you know? People think, oh, Lynn was a baller and I'm not a fucking baller. You know, I know I look good, motherfuckers, but nah.
Because you'll get like 1 million views on a TikTok and make what, like $100 or $50 or some shit like that?
Okay, so you could have 1.4 million views, but TikTok is going to say, oh, we're going to only credit you for the 500,000, and you'll probably make like what, like 1,000.
Oh, really? $1,000? That's pretty decent. Yeah. Okay.
And you can make up to 200 per video. They fucking choose what was qualified, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So it's been kind of weird.
Because another thing, TikTok just feels like such a jail. Because when I would go on live, like somebody would ask a question or on the battle thing, somebody would start talking shit about the porn stuff or whatever, or they would ask me a question about the porn stuff and I'll just start answering it. And then I'll see people in the comments like, don't say porn, don't say porn. Like,
you can say
if you say porn, if you say penis, if you say vagina, any of these words, these are all like gonna get you blocked.
Say corn.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes it like very strange to think about like how I'm going to talk about anything when I can't really like say the words that are actually appearing in my brain and to like censor them in real time. Yeah.
It's difficult in the beginning, but then you start, you know, you get immune to it and you get used to it. You already know your codes and shit.
Okay, so you just saw the clip, but did you know that you can watch this entire interview right now before it's released to the public, uncensored, by becoming a member for just $5 a month, and there's a lot of other crazy benefits as well. So make sure you hit the link down in the description and sign up. Appreciate y'all.